Hi, I'm Bronson Tran. I'm here to talk to Yahoo Esports about this great game called Tekken 7. Maybe. Alright, I guess we're talking about Kuma here. So this guy's not really a Tekken character, he's more of a Street Fighter character, right? Like, he's just jumping around and shit, and then he's just like pressing the hell roundhouses, and he's throwing fireballs. So if you're used to normal Tekken, you're probably not going to be able to beat him. A lot of times he's just jumping in on you, and then he's just like doing random shit, and then you're just confused, right? Like, because you're supposed to be playing on the ground normally in Tekken, and in this particular instance, he's always jumping. He's jumping on your head. You have to worry about this fireball. You have to sidewalk it, and then he has EX meter. So EX meter is like super cheap. When he has that and he's close to you, he could pretty much do at least 60% every single time. So you're just like running away like a little bitch, right? Because you don't want to be next to him. So eventually, you just want to play at a range where his sweep is whiffing. So then at that point, his low forward fireball EX shit, it does not work at all, right? So I don't like this character. I hate people that play this character. I hate playing him. I hate looking at him. I hate Street Fighter characters in this game. So I don't know what to say. I mean, this guy's garbage, but he's actually really good. He got nerfed over the random editions of Tekken 2, you remember. Like, his jump is much worse now. There's recovery on it, and his like DP is not super invincible or whatever. It's just super fast now, but it's just, he feels such like a stab to my back, adding him to the game and ruining this game. His damage is sick. Like, if he has meter, he could pretty much wall carry you. He could do EX or FADCs to keep the ground damage, so then there's no juggle damage going on, so it's all 100% until he gets you to the wall and he just kills you. Ah, Claudio. So I like this guy because he has blue hands, and then he has this move, like down left kick, where he goes like this. He points. And that's actually why I started playing him, because when he kicks you, he goes like this. And then I was like, this guy's sick. In reality though, he's not as good as all the rest of the characters. He's a super simple character, and when you get down to it, he just jumps at you with his running punch, and you just like either duck it or whatever. His lows are pretty slow, that are damaging, and if you're looking for his quick lows, they don't do any damage, right? And then his down left kick, which is the point, it's a minus 16 on block, so people, if they block it, they could launch it. And like, he's a super dry character. He just does a couple of things. But did you just see that move? And he goes like pop pop, and then he just looks away and he goes, I don't even want to fight you anymore. That's why I want to play this character, and that's actually why I picked him. Some good things about him is when he gets his blue hands, he gets a safe mid launcher. And doing that, you know, you can do about 55% if there's no wall, and it's safe and it's amazing, and you could hit confirm it. The first hit's actually really launch punishable, so you gotta tell your opponent this is launch punishable, so they try to interrupt it, and then you delay it and you hit them with it. And then he has that cool super with arrows and shit. That's also why I wanted to play him. You fought well. You fought well. So condescending. Ah, my love, Gigas. I thought he was gonna be so cool, looking all menacing, looking all fat, looking like sick ass tentacles on the back. He's got long ass arms, so his range is really good. You would think he would do hella damage, but he doesn't. This character sucks. So like, in Tekken, movement is super important, right? And they kind of normalize movement from what I understand for this game. The only problem is his hitbox is so big that the normalized movement doesn't do anything for him, because he's this really fat guy, and so he's like little choppy movements, and then when people get close to him, his defensive moves aren't as good. So I love this character, but he sucks, so I don't want anyone to play him. He's full of gimmicks. Once you actually learn where to block, where to punish, and where to duck, he really doesn't have anything. And there's all these like low tier warriors or people that have never touched the game that think he's playable. He's not playable. So I would suggest stay away from this guy, unless you're a masochist and you just want to kill yourself. Josie is supposed to be the Bruce replacement, but she doesn't play him like him at all, right? Because she has no back four or back two, which is this big elbow thing. She has no big knee, which is back forward roundhouse or right kick. Like, these are two very huge things that Bruce is known for. So her style is really just get up into your face, mash a little bit, run around, mash on down forward right punch, which is the launcher. What you see right there, it goes under things. It's really fast. The range is pretty good. And then she also has down right kick, which is safe -10 on block, which is pretty much safe, especially against players that don't really know how to punish it. but it only does like 8 points of damage. So there's no real reason to duck against her at this point, except when she goes into full crouch mix-up, which she has a while staying left kick or full crouch down forward right kick. So that's the mid and a low mix-up, right? And then if she hits you with that while standing knee, it hurts. But I also hate her voice. And then I hate her personality too. Her personality, when she wins, she goes, I don't want to fight anymore or some shit. Like, what are you doing here anyways? Why are you fighting then? If you don't want to fight, if your heart's not into it, get out of here. Like, I don't need to see you do this. Katarina. When she first came out, I just called her Kick Lady because all she does is kick, right? And then there's this really dividing opinion about her where it's she's only good because of roundhouse, like you could just mash on roundhouse all day or right kick all day, and that she sucks because that's all she has. So her real strategy is really, yes, you mash on right kick all day and then you kind of run around, but you want to get hurt, right? You want your life to be pretty low. So then you're in rage, because her rage drive is insane. Her wall carry is pretty decent. So once she gets a launcher in rage, she takes you to the wall and then she'll do like down forward left punch or whatever the hell it is. And then she'll go into rage drive. At that point, it's gonna do a buttload of damage. And it's gonna, like, that's her saving grace to me. And she has a really weird voice too. It's like super manly. I'm not hating on like people with manly voices, females, but I'm just saying it comes off a little weird to me in this game. Kazumi. This is actually a character I wanted to play when the game was announced. Number one reason, she has fucking tigers. Look how cool that is. I don't care about her style. I don't care about anything else. She has tigers. Like, she has one tiger where it comes down. She has another tiger that comes forward. The biggest argument or hate I have for this character is that when she does her rage art, which is basically a super, she has no tigers coming out. How could you have all these cool tiger moves, and then when you have your big old super move, there's no tigers? Gameplay wise, she's pretty simple. You have your down forward left punch and down forward left punch right punch, which is a pretty basic string. It essentially is a 2-hit string that knocks down. You can't hit confirm it or anything, but her style is very simple. I would recommend her for any new player that isn't turned off by her super not having any tigers. Oh, there it is again. That was beautiful. You see that? All these tigers. Yet when she hits a rage drive or rage art, there's not a tiger. I will swear all day about this because I am so upset and emotional and it hurts me inside. So we have Chloe. She's this J-pop star, idol star, that's trying to confuse people by singing and dancing. Essentially, that's like real life too. Because once you figure out her gimmicks or whatever, she's probably considered one of the worst characters in the game. She's super basic. She has a couple of tricks here and there. One of her big things is when she's back turned, she'll do this little rolling kick thing, and that does a grip of damage. But besides that, everything else pretty much sucks. So the cool thing about her is she does top rocks, she does cool dance moves, and if you beat someone with her, you could basically say that they suck because you just beat them with one of the worst characters in the game. But other than that, she has no redeeming qualities. Besides, yeah, she actually has no redeeming qualities. So I'm just gonna leave it at that. Master Raven. She has like ninjutsu stuff. So she's like always flying around. She's like disappearing and she's trying to trick you into trying attacking her. Her damage is pretty good. Her pokes are pretty decent, but she's always like running around like a Naruto character. And like, she has good moves like that. You just saw right there, down forward left punch, which is down forward one jutsu. And then she also has back right punch, which goes into an auto counter if it trades with a move or it reverses a move at the same time. And her super is pretty tight. I hear they're nerfing some of the applications of the super where she can't connect it in certain situations. But you know, she's a buffed up version that, from what I've seen, of the previous Raven incarnations, where her wall damage is pretty good, her wall carries is pretty good, and she's still like one of those tricky characters. So if you actually don't know how to play against her, you will probably get rocked. However, people will learn, hopefully, and then they won't be just out gimmicked, etc. But you gotta worry about that ninja stuff, man. Look at that, she's just dashing around, it's beautiful. Shahin. I think this guy's top tier. So all there, you know how when I was talking about Gigas, he has long ass punches or long ass arms, so it helps him out. This guy has long ass legs. Like he's just pressing his round or right kick has a built-in mix-up depending on what you do afterwards. And then he has a slide mix-up, and he has a hop kick that has just about as much range as anyone else's hop kick. And people don't know about this character. This character is so cheap. And there are certain things that I can say about it that probably will not be allowed to be said in this interview or in this character review. But I will just say, I think if you want to get good at this game, or if you want a secret top tier character, you should play this character. I don't think this guy's had enough like shine with all the top tier talk, and he does good damage. Decent wall carry. He has slide mix. He has good crouch dash mix-ups, and his pokes are really good, and his range is amazing too. So I would go ahead and give a normal review and say if you want to play any character out of this group, Shahin should be one of your top picks. I think the game's a little dumbed down. The depth isn't there to say. I've had a lot of experience with this game so far, being able to get into Namco Bandai or Bandai Namco in Santa Clara. So I've got to play the game quite a bit, and it doesn't. It's good for a beginning character player, right? Mid-level player, beginning player. I think this is a great game to start Tekken. There's a lot of comeback mechanics with Rage Art and Rage Drive. Combos seem pretty simple. They simplified the wall where you're kind of a little stickier on it, so you don't have to think too much. And aesthetically, it's one of the best Tekkens made yet. Reason for that is because there's this slow-mo stuff that happens at the end, and it's beautiful. Like, you don't even know what's going on, right? Like, I could be playing, and then the slow-mo will happen, and I'd be so hyped. I just gotta get off the machine, start running around before it even ends, and then when it comes back, then I'm like, oh man, I lost. But that was so sick, right? So the game is pretty cool. I think it's definitely a step in the right direction if we're trying to attract new players, right? Because that's the issue that we're kind of seeing in Tekken right now, where I've been playing for 17, 18 years now, and our player pool hasn't grown much from then. If anything, it might have gotten smaller, especially in the tournament scene, because you're always going to get the sales on Tekken, and the same people are going to buy it, the casuals are going to buy it, but they're not going to stick into it trying to learn all this esports like Yahoo Esports. But it's a good starting Tekken. It does a grip of damage. People are going to come back and play it, and hopefully because of the slow-mos and the supers, people will watch it and then get interested into it, and then just get a try. Just try, man. Just try.